Indeed, at the top of the hour, this is Sunday Express, being the last Sunday of 2025. From where I stand is that God has been faithful, and as such, I am grateful to be here at such a time. I so do wish you are in this particular space as I am. And as we wait to usher 2026, we are here to keep you informed on what is happening in the country and across borders. First things first on Sunday Express is the highlights.
$1.1 million children in Kenya will be transitioning from junior school to senior school in January.
A smooth transition to senior school, assures President William Ruto, citing the additional classrooms built and hiring of more teachers in January. Referendum jitters Musalia Mudavadi's recommendation sparks controversy on the political front. Abductions, the agony of two families in Mombasa and Isiolo.
Lazima tusike na tochi ndipo tuseme mambo ya kinyala. Kama mtu alimuua bila sisi kuchua.
And the Tiriki torch ritual, its place in the row over Cyrus Jirongo's death.
Good evening, you're watching Sunday Express. It is indeed the last Sunday of 2025. I am Regina Manyara and this is KBC Channel 1. My colleague on sign language is none other than Byron Abuli. Happy holidays. Now, President William Ruto has assured parents across the country that the over 1.1 million learners in Kenya will be transitioned from junior school to senior school in January. Speaking at the Covenant Church International Rotian, Narok County, the head of state noted that there is ample space in the various schools after the administration built 23,000 more classrooms. Ruto stated that by January, the government will have hired 100,000 teachers to ensure learners receive ample tutelage. As Abdiaziz Hashim now tells us, Ruto has told of leaders who accused of small politics and unnecessary propaganda in the education sector.
With over 1.1 million learners eagerly awaiting transition and placement from junior school to senior school in January, the government has assured the learners and parents across the country of 100% transition ahead of the 2026 calendar.
A most consequential exercise is underway in Kenya. 1.1 million children in Kenya will be transitioning from junior school to senior school in January. I want to assure parents across the Republic of Kenya and all other stakeholders that we have made adequate arrangements.
Speaking at the Covenant Church International Rotian, Narok County, the head of state noted that there is ample space in the various schools after the administration built 23,000 more classrooms.
Tutakamilisha mahabara ama laboratories 1,600 kufikia mwezi wa 3 mwaka huu, na vilevile tumehakikisha ya kwamba ile capitation ambayo serikali tunatoa 22,000 kwa kila mwanafunzi. Tayari serikali tumetoa 44 billion shillings this week to make sure that the transition in January is going to be smooth.
Ruto stated that by January, the government will have hired 100,000 teachers to ensure learners receive ample tutelage.
Na hakuna pesa imepunguzwa ya kusomesha watoto wetu.
He, however, called out leaders who he accused of introducing small politics and unnecessary propaganda in the education sector.
I am telling them to keep off our children. Watu ambao wako na siasa fitina ndogo ndogo, madalali wa siasa ya bure wanataka kuingiza watoto wetu kwa mambo ya siasa ambayo haina maana.
Moreover, he castigated the united opposition for poking holes in the administration's plans to ensure Kenya attains a first world status.
Wale wanapingana na mimi ati first world haiwezekani, watuambie mpango yao ni gani. Nilisikia mwingine juzi anasema ati hatutaki mambo ya Singapore, hatutaki mambo ya Korea, ati heri Somalia. Sasa mimi nauliza
The head of state and leaders who accompanied him from the region called on Kenyans to support the government's initiative in key sectors such as health and agriculture ahead of the 2027 general election.
Hatuna nafasi ya kupoteza na mtu ambaye hana agenda, hana mpango, hata track record. Kama mimi nataka niwaulize watu wa Narok, mtu kama amekuwa uongozi miaka 10, hakuna barabara amejenga, shule hajajenga, kanisa hajajenga, hakuna kitu amejenga, huyo ni mtu ya kuchaguliwa?
Kuanzia leo mahali wao huko, wewe ujue ya kwamba kura zote za Masai ni za William Samoei Arap Ruto.
Na tumekubaliana pale ndani ya kwamba kitu kimoja ambayo ni kubwa sana pale inaitwa inclusivity, kushirikisha kila pande ya Kenya.
Abdiaziz Hashim for Sunday Express.
Still on more politics, the Kikuyu Council of Elders has opposed a proposal to amend the constitution through a referendum alongside the 2027 general elections. This comes just a day after Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, while at the cultural event in Vihiga County, said Kenya is in a constitutional moment. The opposition leaders, including DAPK leader Eugene Wamalwa, have also dismissed the calls, saying it is not a priority for Kenyans.
Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi's calls to amend the constitution have received criticism from across various quarters, with Kikuyu elders from Nyeri, Kiambu, the Tharaka-Nithi and Nakuru counties, alias Kiama, being the latest to join the opposition bandwagon.
Tena tunasikia kuna mwingine anasema ati analeta katiba ipinduliwe. Sijui tufanye sijui Referendum sijui inaitwa nini na kizungu. Hiyo sisi hatuwezi kubali. Hata tumeambia Mungu hivyo hivyo. Mungu sikubali hawa watu wapindue katiba. 2026, 2027 tupate haki yetu ya kupeana kura zetu, tuchague new leadership.
During end-of-year prayers in a traditional event in Nakuru County, where they performed rituals, the elders want that the push for a referendum by some leaders is aimed at fulfilling selfish political gains.
Wale wanafikiria mambo ya kubadilisha katiba ndio wajiendeleshe kwa utawala, viti wachukue kwa nguvu. Sisi tungesema sisi hatuna ukabila hapa Rift Valley, lakini tungeomba wote wajue sisi ndio tuna msemo.
While opposing the push, Kaiti Member of Parliament Joshua Kimilu vowed to mobilize lawmakers to reject the proposal if presented in Parliament.
Mimi nakaa kwa hiyo Parliament, atahakikisha hiyo kitu haitapita. Kwa sababu wametuzoea. Ile discussion ya 7 years kama mjui, wanataka tuende hivyo tuongeze ikue ati tunakaa 7 years. Kama mjui chenye kinapangwa. Na hiyo tuanze kukataa mapema na tumesema no na tutaremina no.
ODM Deputy Party Leader and Vihiga Senator Godfrey Sotsi also terming the proposal a ploy to increase terms for some office holders.
I will accept a referendum that means good for the people of Kenya. But any referendum that is seeking to extend the life of the current president and us leaders, we will lead people to reject it.
Giverson Minor, Sunday Express.
While that was happening, the popularity and affiliation trend of the Orange Democratic Party seems to be on a downward trend from 38% in September 2024 to 98% in December of 2025. In the latest poll released by Infotrak, conducted from the 19th to the 20th of December 2025, the ruling party UDA had a 23% uptick from 16% in August 2025. The poll also revealed that President William Ruto is the most preferred presidential aspirant if elections were held today at 28%, followed by Fred Matiang'i at 13% and Kalonzo Musyoka third at 12%.
The Orange Democratic Movement Party may need to put its house in order to sustain the party's popularity if the findings by Infotrak is anything to go by. The polls show that in July 2024, ODM's party affiliation stood at 34% and grew to 38% in September 2024. It, however, recorded a sharp decline August 2025, standing at 16% before rising to 19% 4 months down the line. This comes even as the survey shows that Embakasi East MP Babu Owino is the most perceived successor to the late Raila Odinga at 33%, Oburu Odinga at 10%, Gladys Wanga at 7%, and James Orengo at 4%. According to the polls, UDA is leading in the party popularity and affiliation at 23%, ODM at 19%, DCP at 6%, Jubilee Party 5%, and Wiper 4%. The broad-based government is leading in political formation affiliation at 32%, while the united opposition stands at 22%. Northeastern, Rift Valley, Nyanza and Coast feel closest to the broad-based at 88%, 39%, 38% and 36% respectively. Regions that feel closest to the united opposition are Central at 39%, Eastern 36%, Nairobi 25% and Coast 20%. The polls also indicate that President William Ruto is the most preferred presidential aspirant if elections were held today at 28%, followed by Fred Matiang'i at 13%, Kalonzo Musyoka third at 12%, Babu Owino 7%, Rigathi Gachagua 5%, with Martha Karua and David Maraga tying at 2% each. Meanwhile, 31% of respondents said the November by-elections were neither free, fair nor credible. Only 8% said the by-election was credible. 46% of Kenyans said the cost of living will influence their vote in 2027, with 27% saying anti-corruption and health services will determine their choice. The polls were conducted from 19th to 20th of December 2025. Kamchemenza for Sunday Express.
Now that takes us to a fast breather here on Sunday Express. Remember, you can be part of the conversation. Get us on X at KBC Channel 1. The question is, what does the opposition say to the latest trends, especially that particular report? We'll be right back on Sunday Express.
If you see a frog jumping, it means there's something after its life.
Hata kalicha kierere chakula inakuja.
Nawapatia 1 minute, msiponi serve.
Kasa tuma yetu.
Ile ugani nataka. Ni ile ya mviringo. Bado mimi mange manga na ulipe.
Cheki hapo kwa kulipa muda boss hapo hivyo hapo ndo kidogo kidogo tu hapo ndo haribu.
Unabai, unapika, unashiba.
Lea Premium Flour, nurturing the world. Available in a store near you.
At least I know what I don't want.
If you have something to do, you can go first.
I don't. Nothing's more important than you.
I brought 2 bottles of Chinese red wine for you to thank you. If it weren't for you, we'd have suffered a great loss.
My husband said, "You're more beautiful than your card photo." What card is that? Show her.
Of course I'm going.
You started watching at 3?
Yes, so what? It's not okay?
Bragging.
He plays better than you.
Cause I would win!
Welcome back and happy holidays. This is Sunday Express. Now, ODM party bigwigs continue differing on what should be the party's key interests in the broad-based government, signaling sharp division in the Orange Party. While interim party leader Senator Oburu Odinga and national chairperson Governor Gladys Wanga maintain ODM is fully within the broad-based government to stay, Deputy Party Leader Senator Godfrey Otsosi sees no value in being in the government if the 10-point agenda contained in the NADCO report is not implemented.
The implementation of the 10-point agenda contained in the NADCO report that was born out of an agreement between President William Ruto and the late ODM leader Raila Odinga is now a bone of contention within ODM's top leadership. ODM Deputy Party Leader Senator Godfrey Otsosi, while speaking in Vihiga County, took on his colleagues who are committed to the broad-based government, demanding they focus on pushing for the implementation of the 10-point agenda.
Broad-based without 10 points agenda is not broad-based. Because broad-based na 10 points agenda ni kama watoto wawili ambao wameshikana. Ukikata mmoja, mwingine anakufa ama wote wanakufa. So as we talk about broad-based, talk about the issues that make broad-based what it should. And that is 10 points agenda.
On Saturday, the ODM brigade, led by interim party leader Senator Oburu Oginga, assured their full commitment to the cause of ensuring that they become part and parcel of the next government by working together with President Ruto while supporting him for the second term.
My people, I'm telling you that this broad-based arrangement in which Raila left us, this is the best arrangement he could have done, and this is the arrangement of people to stay in.
Na ODM iko ndani ya broad-based government. Na hapo tuko ndani, na vile rais amesema tuko pale, na party leader wetu ameshasema tuko pale ndani sahi, na tunajipanga kwenda mbele.
The leaders also took on their counterparts, attempting to cause tension within ODM.
Katiba ya chama chetu iko wazi, very clear. Wanasema the person who has the last word on any issue in ODM ni party leader. Na hakuna party leader wawili. Kuna party leader mmoja peke yake. Wewe kama unataka kuwa party leader, tengeneza chama chako.
The implementation of the 10-point agenda is expected to address key national issues, including cost of living, youth unemployment, and gender inclusion. Ishok Washira, Sunday Express.
Now, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has asked the chiefs and their assistants in Trans Nzoia County to intensify the war against illegal brew and drug abuse. Speaking at the AIC Riwo Church in Cherangani constituency, the CS said Trans Nzoia is among the counties with the highest prevalence of illicit alcohol and drugs in the country, underscoring the need for concerted efforts by the government, the church and the community to address the menace.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen wants the local administration in Trans Nzoia County to win the war against illicit alcohol and drug abuse.
Na sehemu moja ambayo tuko na shida hiyo ni hapo Lokotos, ndio, na sehemu zingine za upande huu, na tumekubaliana kwamba nimeambia chief na nimeambia security team, they must work together to make sure that we get rid of these things.
Trans Nzoia is among the regions struggling with the alcohol menace. Murkomen further eyed the church to be at the forefront in shaping the character and values of the youth, saying there is need for adoption of modern and practical approaches that effectively address the challenges facing young people.
Lazima tuchukue also our curriculum kwa kanisa ya youth na children iambatane na the challenges they are facing in this time. Tusifunze hawa vile sisi tulifunzwa, tuwafunze vile generation yao iko, na tuwafikie vile wanaweza kufikiwa kupitia zile njia ambazo wao wanaelewa vizuri.
He appealed to parents to take full responsibility for parenting, cautioning against delegating this critical role entirely to schools.
Nyinyi wazazi mjue ya kwamba watoto wenu sio responsibility ya serikali. Serikali iko na responsibility yake, lakini responsibility number 1 ni nyumbani, na therefore nyumbani must be the right place penye tunawapatia right values.
Tilio Marco for Sunday Express.
Now, two families in Mombasa and Isiolo are in distress over the abduction of their loved ones in the latest incident. A woman in Sisi area of Soweto Changamwe sub-county in Mombasa says armed men picked up her 44-year-old husband on Christmas Eve and drove away with him in an unmarked double-cabin vehicle. In Isiolo, a National Police reserve was picked up by a masked man over a week ago, and his whereabouts remain unknown.
44-year-old Harrison Nyamu was allegedly abducted on the night of December 24th, 2025. His wife, Leah Njeri Mwangi, says armed men believed to be police officers forcibly took him from their home, assaulted him, and drove away in unmarked double-cabin vehicles.
Nilikuwa nimekaa hapa kwa ile kiti, mzee wangu alikuwa amekaa hapa, hao watoto walikuwa wamekaa hapa, Edu alikuwa pale jikoni, wale kwa fridge. Tukaona watu tu wameingia, wamekoka, wamesema lala chini. Edu akalazwa jikoni, Jile ni akapelekwa chooni, mimi nikapelekwa bedroom. Mzee wangu akalazwa hapo, wakaanza kumpigia hapo. Ile waliingia, waliuliza kuna laptop inafanya kazi hapa. Wakaingia, wakanipata nimeshika simu yangu. Wakachukua simu yake, kuna simu ndogo ya watoto wa Bambe, wakachukua pale kwa mesa, kulikuwa na 1200 pia wakachukua.
Nyamu, a kidney patient who requires regular dialysis, has not been seen since, raising serious health concerns. Human rights activists joined his family in urging police to present Nyamu in court or immediately secure his release.
Today is the 4th day since Harrison Nyamu was abducted. The wife and the children are very afraid. Harrison is a kidney patient. He has already missed his medication. He has missed his dialysis. He had a session on Friday, so it's 2 days later. And they're very, very afraid for his well-being. So we are appealing to whoever has Harrison to release him immediately. If he has committed any wrong, then follow due process.
And in Isiolo, a senior National Police reservist in Burat location, Malele Abdi Hassan, was reportedly taken by masked men while riding his motorcycle home at around 5:30 p.m. on 20th December 2025. His family and Ajuran community leaders urged police to urgently investigate the incident and produce Hassan.
And if it was the government, they should follow the right procedure on how to abduct him or to arrest him. It wasn't just an arrest. So we are demanding for the answers kindly.
I don't know where he is, and we have no information about him up to date. That's why we are gathered here today to ask if there is anyone who is aware where our brother is, be it the government or whoever it is. We are demanding answers.
We hope that the answers come in a positive manner and those who are missing get reunited with their families and their loved ones in good health and state. Now, the controversy on the circumstances surrounding the death of former cabinet minister and Lugari Member of Parliament Cyrus Njirongo has brought to the fore a tradition among his Tiriki clan believed to meet justice on the culprit where foul play is suspected in death. This tradition involves placing a lit torch in the casket of the deceased with the belief that when the torch goes off, the person who caused the death also dies. Christiana Marsha delves into this tradition with the aid of insights from the Tiriki elders.
Although December 30th has been set as the burial date of the late former Lugari Member of Parliament Cyrus Njirongo at his home in Kitale, Trans Nzoia County, controversy still surrounds the cause of his death. The suspicion of foul play has led to calls of invocation of a tradition in his Tiriki clan to supposedly deal the culprit.
Cyrus was driving a Mercedes-Benz, one of the latest, which I know for sure has 12 airbags. None of the airbags deployed. Airbags will deploy when a car is in motion and the engine is running. So was this car running? Was the engine running? It was placed there to be hit. These are the questions we want answered.
We need to have thorough investigation on everything that is questionable. It does not
presume guilt on anyone to have that investigation.
This entails placing a lit torch in the casket. But why a torch?
Lazima tusike na tochi ndipo tuseme mambo ya kinyala. Kama mtu alimuua bila sisi kuchua nani alimuua, tukisika na tochi tunaweka dawa yetu ya samani inaitwa njano. Hiyo njano itatafuta yule aliua, tunasema mara sapa.
It is believed that when the torch goes off, the person who killed the deceased also dies.
Wenyewe watakuja kusema tuliua mtu wenyu bila kuchua, na watalipa. Lazima walipe ng'ombe, walipe kondo, na wenyewe wasipolipa wataendelea kukufa.
But that's not all. The grave is also cleansed.
Kuna vitu ambavyo tunaweza kuweka kwa kaburi. Kitu cha kwanza ni dawa inaitwa enjanwa. Hii enjanwa huwa inaita wale ambapo walipotea, wale ambapo waliua na wakapotea, lazima wenyewe watakuja.
According to the elders, during the burial, women are not allowed to go to the graveyard and the men oversee the burial process.
Watoto watoko hawakaripi, wamama hawakaripi, wazee ndio wanashika mtu ambapo aliuawa bila kujua nani alimuua.
Jirongo's family has also welcomed the involvement of forensic experts as they insist that all unanswered questions must be addressed. Kasichana Masha, Sunday Express.
In my small science class, it indicated that if you light a candle and you cover, the lit candle with an empty glass, after some time, oxygen is depleted in that particular space, and thus carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide that is exhumed from that particular flame takes precedence, and as such, the candle goes off. So as we continue having conversations around culture and traditions, especially following the demise of Cyrus Njorongo there, the question is, will culture and tradition supersede science? That's indeed a rhetoric. Now to the political scene. Political temperatures slowly rise. Leaders and elders alike are calling for unity, peace, and constructive engagement, warning that division could derail development and stability across the country. In the central region, Kiama Kikuyu elders have warned against political moves they say could divide communities in Mount Kenya region, even as leaders from the Ukambani region call for closer cooperation with the government to unlock development. More in the political news roundup.
Kiama Kikuyu elders from Nyeri, Kiambu, Tharaka-Nithi and Nakuru have strongly opposed a proposal to split the Mount Kenya region into eastern and western wings.
Kitu ya kwanza ukitaka kukata mlima, kata kwanza Mungu, kwa sababu sisi wote hizo makabila ziko hiyo area. Tunajua kwa haki kwamba Mungu yetu anaishi kwa hiyo mlima, lakini kabla ufanye hiyo hatuwezi kukubali kukua na wewe.
The elders say the idea risks sowing division within the Kikuyu community. Speaking in Nakuru during end-of-year prayers where they performed traditional rituals while facing Mount Kenya, the elders dismissed the proposal, warning that it could weaken unity in the region.
Tena tunasikia kuna mwingine anasema ati analeta katiba ipinduliwe. Sijui tufanye sijui Referendum sijui inaitwa nini na kizungu. Hiyo sisi hatuwezi kubali.
Sisi hatuna ukabila hapa Rift Valley, lakini tungeomba wote wajue sisi ndio tuna msemo mmoja na tuko kwa hali mbaya. Kenya yetu iko mahali mbaya.
The elders further appealed for peace as the country edges closer to the campaign period, noting that Kenya has already paid a heavy price in bloodshed during the recent Gen Z protests.
Tunaomba serikali yetu ijue mtu ambaye amechaguliwa katika position za serikali zote ako na pesa na ako na njia ya kuangalia watoto wake, lakini wananchi wa kawaida, mwananchi mmoja na amuka asubuhi kwa kutafuta chakula ya kukula saa hiyo hiyo ako na shida.
Watu wale wako chini, tuko na shida mingi sana, na tungewaombea Mungu waache hiyo mambo ya kujifikiria wenyewe, wafikirie mambo ya wale watu waliwachagua.
Elsewhere in Machakos County, Mwala Member of Parliament Vincent Musyoka urged Kamba leaders to align themselves with the Kenya Kwanza administration. Musyoka said cooperation with the government of the day is crucial for securing development projects and resources for the region.
Comrades, nataka muelewe siasa na siasa ni interest. So kama Mwala mnapata interest zenu ziko mbele kupitia kwa rais na Kawaya, nyinyi mnapasa kukwamilia hapo.
The legislator was speaking at Makutano Primary School during a bursary application and verification exercise for students from his constituency enrolled in universities and vocational training institutions. He emphasized that leaders can only effectively lobby for their people by working closely with the national government.
Kwa hivyo lazima muelewe kwamba what you have now is very special, very, very special. I am one of the very few members of parliament wenye wakimtaka rais wanamfikia kwa rais sana. Na ni lazima tuchunge huo uhusiano.
Maria Ambo reporting for Sunday Express.
From politics now to tourism, where the Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano has stated that improved security, better infrastructure and enhanced marketing are driving a strong recovery in the tourism sector, with domestic travel rising sharply and rural economies beginning to benefit. Speaking during a Thanksgiving ceremony hosted by the Cabinet Secretary at her home village in Wakehara in Daragwa constituency, the CS highlighted that government interventions are restoring confidence among travelers and opening up new opportunities across the country.
A colorful celebration marked by song, prayer and fellowship brought together more than 2,500 residents at Wakehara village in Daragwa constituency for a Thanksgiving ceremony hosted by Wildlife and Tourism Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano. The event brought together neighbors, local leaders and community members in a show of unity and gratitude. Speaking during the ceremony, CS Miano reflected on the challenges the country faced over the past year, saying economic pressures and security concerns had affected many communities. However, she noted that the situation had since improved, attributing the progress to enhanced security measures, better coordination and the opening up of road networks across various regions.
Unajua wageni wengi hawaelewi Kenya yetu, lakini tumeweza kuweka mikakati ya marketing ili tuwaonyeshe na tuwajulishe ile Kenya iko. Maneno ya security imeimarishwa kupitia tourism police units, na hiyo infrastructure nimeongea. Tumepata viwanja za ndege zimeweza kuwa improved na mabarabara. Kwa hivyo tutaendelea hata mwaka ujao kufanya kazi kwa bidii zaidi tupate wageni wengi.
The Cabinet Secretary also highlighted the strong performance of the tourism sector, saying it continues to register impressive growth. She revealed that tourism earnings are currently standing at 425 billion shillings, with increased visitor numbers driven by improved security, infrastructure development and aggressive marketing strategies.
Siku zijazo tumepewa target kubwa ili tuweze kupata wageni zaidi ya milioni 5 kufikia mwaka wa 27-28, mapato yaweze kufikia 1 trillion.
CS Miano noted that migratory birds remain a major attraction for international visitors, while domestic tourism had surged sharply during the current holiday season. A boost, she says, is positively impacting local economies. She added that more Kenyans are now exploring local destinations, ensuring that rural areas increasingly benefit from tourism activities.
Utalii si wageni tu kutoka mbali, si international tourist. Hata hapa tumeona domestic tourism hapa nchini imeimarika. Kama uliona upande wa news, throughout Christmas wa Kenya wametembea kurudi kwao manyumbani, kuona wazazi wao, kupendelea nchi yao. So we are seeing Kenyans who are celebrating their country.
Local leaders updated residents on development projects in the area, outlining ongoing road projects and expressing support for the current administration.
Kirema Water Project itapatia watu maji kutoka Shamata, Subuku, Kihara, Kanyagia, hao watu watakuwa na maji.
Residents stated that sustained government investment and cooperation with local leaders will uplift the region.
In the past year, the tourism industry has been working at focusing on immersive experiences, including mountain trails that KBC Channel 1 has been keeping track of. And we're waiting to see that particular report on how, if indeed Kenya will have met its target of at least 3 million travelers by the end of 2025. Now, a section of Mijikenda Kaya elders have come out strongly opposed to the appointment of former Minister Ali Chirao Makwere as a spokesperson for the Mijikenda community and the coast in general. The elders claim that proper consultations were not conducted and key cultural steps were indeed ignored.
The installation of Ali Chirao Makwere as the Mijikenda spokesperson has ignited a storm along the Kenyan coast. The former cabinet minister was enthroned in Vishakani, an event that a section of Kaya elders has condemned and vowed not to recognize.
Yale mambo alifanyika, si tunapinga kama viongozi wa kijamii. Kwanza hatukuhusishwa, pili hakufuata ule taratibu wa kuteuliwa kama kiongozi hapa pwani.
Wa Mijikenda huwa hatuna certificate za kuapisha anayetuwakilisha, bali huwa ni wazee wanakaa, wazee 9 wanachagua kiongozi mmoja ndo anawakilisha wa Mijikenda ama hata wapwani wote.
Led by Kaya Elders Coordinator Sumanzai, the elders have maintained that the appointment of Makwere is unlawful and unrecognizable by the wider Mijikenda community.
Yule bado tunamtambua kama msemaji wa Wadigo, lakini si msemaji wa Mijikenda. Kufikia saa hizi tunataka mtu ambaye atakuwa amepewa nafasi ya kuwa yeye awe kiongozi wa Mijikenda, hasa awe msemaji au ngazi yote ya juu, ni awe amepata mamlaka ya kiserikali.
Sisi wazee wa Makaya, sisi hatuna chama. Shughuli iliyofanyika jana ilikuwa ni chama cha Umwengawehu Association. Si masuala ya umoja wa Mijikenda, ilikuwa ni masuala ya kisiasa. Msimu wa siasa kwa karibu, wamekuja na mbinu mpya wauze Mijikenda. Na jana ilidhihirika kwamba nilikuwa ni mbinu ya kuuza Mijikenda.
The elders have given Makwere 14 days to apologize to the Mijikenda elders or else face sanctions. The group maintains that the enthronement of the former minister was a ploy to peddle the Mijikenda vote to the highest bidder. Michael Mondiga for Sunday Express.
To the counties, the Christmas spirit was extended in Mumias East constituency with a 3-day free medical camp. And in Migori, 500 residents have registered as new voters in the Huduma Mashinani initiative. Details of this and more stories from across our counties.
Over 5,000 residents of Mumias East constituency in Kakamega County are set to benefit from the annual 3-day free medical camp courtesy of the area lawmaker Peter Salasia in partnership with the devolved unit.
Wengi wako katika uko ndani na wanataka kupata usaidizi wa madaktari, the specialists, but kwa sababu ya challenge ya maybe mambo ya pesa na mambo mengine hapa na pale, kubuka appointment na madaktari ikakuwa challenge. So I decided that during this festive season is also a season to remember those who are sick.
We have a general consultation where you can come with any ailments that you have. We have qualified doctors who are there to engage onto that.
Meanwhile, a faith-based organization working with street children in Kisii town has appealed to Kisii County government and well-wishers to establish a rescue center to protect rehabilitated children from returning to the streets during school holidays.
I'm just requesting maybe the government, the county government, please help us with a place where we can always have these kids so that at least they can be reformed, at least somebody can always be with them, they be nurtured, you know.
The best investment we will ever put in our lives is the investment in other people. Because when we feed one of these kids, we speak hope in their lives.
Elsewhere, a section of Buhayo scholars in Busia County have called on the government to allocate more funds towards cultural research and promote diversity among communities, as well as preserve historical records.
Sijawahi kuona serikali imetenga pesa ya kufanya utafiti. Wengi wanajisponsor. Tunatumia tu resources zetu kutembea kutafuta information. ambapo kama serikali especially hizi sub counties kama wangeinvest kwa mambo ya research.
Finally, over 500 residents of Migori town have registered as new voters following a free citizen service drive dubbed Huduma Mashinani, organized by young advocates from Nyanza region in partnership with the Ministry of Interior.
The main reason why we are here is to push for voter registration. Recently, we had the annunciation from the IEBC and the target of 6.5 million Kenyans for the registration of new voters. And as part of our role as advocates is to push to ensure that members of the community, members of the society and the public at large realize this democratic right.
A voter's card is the only way we can change the course of our region and the course of how we manage Kenyan politics. And it's important that everybody who gets to 18 gets an ID and gets a voter's card.
As I say now from the counties, work with no play makes Jack a dull boy. We take a quick break on Sunday Express. We'll be back with the sports.
Wengine watasema niko na kichaa, lakini mimi najua.
Na kwani mami yuko? Tunaweza ingia tuzungumze kidogo. Sasa sina time.
Umemaliza? Auntie, haya chukua fagio. Auntie, basi nipe violin. Alafu there is no food for you and there's no school for you.
Makadamia akijaribu kuongelesha mama kukuzushia, usimjibu. Mama anakuanga na kichwa ngumu, usiachilie.
Mbola, ndigi kilitui.
Ule upendo wa kwanza utarudi.
Wewe.
Nasema toka hapa.
Kuja nitoe.
Thank you.
Karibu.
You're such an angel.
Back. Now, AFCON is underway as well as the EPL is still underway. But before we get to the updates on what has been happening in those particular leagues, let's bring you up to speed with other stories that have been making headlines in the sporting arena. Now, the National Cereals and Produce Board handball team has made a strong start to the 43rd East and Central Africa Club Championship currently underway in Uganda. Kenya's National Cereals and Produce Board team kicked off their campaign in style with a dominant 40-23 victory over Uganda Police in an entertaining match played at the old Kampala Arena. The Kenyan side took control of the game early, storming to a 12-4 lead in the end of the first quarter. They continued to pile pressure on their opponents in the second quarter, stretching advantage to 24-11 by halftime. Uganda Police tried to regroup after the break, but NCPB remained composed and clinical in their attack, finishing the third quarter firmly in control at 33-17. The final quarter saw Kenya comfortably manage the game, sealing an emphatic 40-23 win to announce their intentions at their championship. The victory gives the National Cereals and Produce Board a confident start as they look ahead to their remaining fixtures in the regional tournaments. Off to some good news for those who enjoy a bit of adrenaline rush there, where spectators will get a chance to watch the WRC Safari Rally Kenya Shakedown during the 2026 edition of the event, set to start from the 12th to the 15th of March in Naivasha. It will be the first time spectators will get a chance since the return of the Safari Rally Kenya to the WRC calendar. And it is one of the key changes made to the 2026 event, which will be the third round of the season.
While rolling out the 2026 program, Safari Rally Kenya CEO Charles Gasheru outlined the reasons why next year's rally proper will not start in Nairobi, as has been the norm since its return in 2021.
The rally must start on Thursday and end on Sunday with a power stage. So we've been forced to run the rally exclusively in Naivasha. So Tuesday and Wednesday, the rally cars will be in the reconnaissance around Naivasha. They go through all the routes. It's a mandatory recce. They have to go and do all the routes. We then do administrative checks. We do our scrutineering to ensure everything is okay with all the cars. Then we do the shakedown on Thursday morning.
Cars will be subjected to administrative checks and scrutineering at the service park to ensure everything is okay with the machines, with huge crowds expected to take advantage of the shakedown.
The impact is huge. We cannot, wish it away. Not being in Nairobi is significant. Not flagging off either at City Hallway or KICC is significant. And it's not something we take lightly. But if we were to try and force it into the itinerary, we would then fall foul of the FIWRC sporting regulations for 2026.
The 2026 Safari Rally Kenya will, however, be impacted by moving the ceremonial start and opening special spectator stage from the Kenyan capital, with organizers having already met all the set deadlines.
We've done the rally guide, we've done the draft safety plan, which has to be uploaded on an app that we use called Eventos. So that's already been done. We have done all this new mapping and KMZ files and GPX files that the rally drivers need, the teams need to actually start surveying the routes before they come to Nairobi. Camp Moran, for example, is running in reverse. That creates a totally new stage. And it's running in reverse, obviously, because of the liaison distances.
The 2026 Safari Rally Kenya will be the 6th edition since Kenya was admitted back to host Africa's round of the Global Championship in 2021.
Now to AFCON. Gabon's chances of securing a spot in the last 16 of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations now hangs in the balance after suffering a shock loss, a 3-2 loss to Mozambique in their second round Group F, a match played today in Agadir, Morocco. Gabon now remain rooted at the bottom of the group without a point.
To latch onto the high ball. It's coming over. There's the goal. It's a goal that's been scored here by Mozambique. Celebrations whipped in. And it is, of course, Faisal who has offered Mozambique the Mambas. Pembele tries to get past his man. Oh, he's down him. He's been pulled down. It's a court penalty. Kenny with the left foot. Kenny! Grandiose!
Been creative in that midfield in the final third.
Long range shot, it's a drive. Beautiful. There's the follow-on. They got the goal. Finally, you can see what it means to Gabon. A little bit of deft class there. Left-hand side. Ball coming across. It's a head down. It's a goal number 3. Absolutely brilliant from Mozambique. It's Sangamatuti. Oh, it's a great chance. Lily follow-on. There's a goal. And they managed to get that. Second goal of Aubameyang again, takes the ball out of the net. Oh, frantic stuff. And Gabon are back.
As AFCON gets underway there, we had that surprise win by Mozambique there, scoring against Gabon that remains at the bottom of its group there. Equatorial Guinea took on Sudan. Unfortunately, no goal from Equatorial Guinea, but Sudan, that is, scored 1 goal against none from Equatorial Guinea. Algeria scored 1 against none from Burkina Faso. And Cote d'Ivoire and Cameroon are going to be squaring it at each other at 11 p.m. East African time. Remember, AFCON is underway. We're looking at the second quarter. We don't know who is going to make it, and we are going to continue keeping tabs on that particular showpiece that not only puts, various countries on the global map, but also Africa when it comes to matters football. We had asked you to be part of this conversation on the last Sunday of the year, and I'd want to read some of the feedback that you have sent on our various social media platforms. We want to recognize a few people who've taken time to wish happy holidays. We have Grace Gigi. She says it's better to deliver it in real time. I don't know what that means in as far as our communication is concerned. We have Kelvin Wamure, who is saying we are live from Al Capone. Well, there it is. We are live from Broadcasting House in KBC. Then we also have Otieno Nyainda, who says reporting from Kango Karateng. And they say sherehe itambe na Januari iwe 13th month vile inafaa. Happy holidays. I'm Regina Manyara, and from the team that has made this possible, I'm talking about the producers and the directors, those you do not get to see, Timothy, Mark, Muna, Stanley, and the rest of the team. We want to wish you a very great start to 2026 and a blessed year to come. I'm Regina Manyara. My colleague on sign language has been none other than Byron Abuli. Once again, happy holidays.
If you see a frog jumping, it means there's something after its life.
Hata kalicha kierere chakula inakuja.
Nawapatia 1 minute, msiponi serve.
Kaso to mayetu.
Ile ugani nataka. Ni ile ya mviringo. Bado mimi ni mange manga na ulipe.
Cheki hapo kwa kulipa muda boss hapo hivyo hapo ndo kidogo tu hapo ndo arego.
Wewe na wewe ulikuwa? Unajua mimi ni nani? Lienda wapi mboga? Unajua venye nimekaa hapa. Unaona siwezi kukupunga, si ndio?
Yaani bwana nakwambia ile mateso nimepitia ukoroni mambo leo mpaka unashangaa na teso kwa nini bwana? Yaani mpaka baadaye uchai anza kusikia exodus.
Friday night again. Greetings in the name of the Most High Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice, we
have to do it twice.
The young generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations.
It's art, it's culture,
movies, gossip and trends, sports, drama.
We bring you a vibe like no other, straight to your living room.
To keep you informed, inspired, entertained, and most of all, refreshed.
We are such a vibe.
Y254. Imagine.
Now it's clear why he left me. It's probably because of you and your daughter Letty, Sarah.